So there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.
Hey Josh, how you doing? We're gonna review Tomorrowland.
Dude, I told you I can't do YouTube anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate because now you're my prisoner.
All right. So, Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Directed by Brad Bird, starring George Clooney, Britt Robertson, Hugh Laurie, Raffi Cassidy. I don't know what.
Rafiki?
I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. So, some of your positives.
Well, the actors were really good in this movie, Josh. The creativity in this movie was really good. I liked a lot of the stuff that they had in there. There were some moments where, and by the way, this is a spoiler review, sorry. The moment where they had to go through some sort of teleportation or something that got them somewhere else, and that they had to, like, their blood sugar was going to be low and all that stuff. I thought that was super cool and creative. Like, it seemed like they had created this world, and it was very believable.
Yeah. Well, that like you said, that is because of the acting. Like,
right.
No one is phoning it in. Like, George Clooney could have phoned this in, and it wouldn't have hurt his career. Because, I mean, he's George Clooney. But he really gives it his all in this film. Everyone's great. I haven't seen Britt Robertson or Raffi before.
Right.
But they were phenomenal. I mean, Raffi as Athena steals the show.
Yeah, she really did.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Hugh Laurie. He's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, when you took me to see this movie, I was very like, why not? Because, you know, we like movies. We'll go see random stuff. But I was pleasantly surprised because I had kind of low expectations for it. Because the trailers don't really show you anything for this movie.
And that's a wonderful part. It's so vague. It's not spoiling anything like so many trailers do today.
Or spoon-fed to you. That was
the dialogue is great. Yeah. My favorite scene is just them riding in a truck. And it's Athena and George Clooney's character arguing and bickering, and it's wonderful. Like, this little, I don't know, maybe 12-year-old girl can hold her own on screen with George Clooney, and I think that's wonderfully impressive.
Yeah, very good stuff.
So some of the negatives.
For me, it felt a little too long. There were just moments in there, like the awe and wonder part where she saw the world was really cool, but then I was noticing that it's still awe and wonder, and it was still awe and wonder, and it was still awe and wonder, and I was like, okay, what's the end
awe
of
and wondered through the whole thing.
And that's great. That's totally fine. But my ADD was not awing, nor was it wondering. It was wondering when this was going to end. And it was like, it wasn't like, oh, this is a bad scene. It was just like, okay, when is something going to explode? I'm sorry. You know, like, I just really want to know, like, what's going to happen. Because I was like, did they notice that she's there? Blah, 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 blah. Like, what's going on? I kind of have to go to the bathroom, but I might have to hold it. Because this movie might actually be good. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, yeah. There was just, for those of us in the ADD audience, and I'm not saying that this is like, I need movies to like just throw action at my face like a food fight or something.
For me, it's the first two acts of this film are great. There's a whole scene in this comic book shop with Keegan from Key and Peele.
I love that.
The whole shop is full of things, and it's great. Like, even the side characters, like the robots that are chasing down George Clooney, just like,
oh gosh, I died. You know what they remind me of? The Mormons that we had in Bible college. What we were going for.
Plug your own stuff, Dave. Why not?
Hey, why not? It's my channel. Might as well.
But when it reaches the third act, it just kind of becomes an average film.
Yeah.
Like, Brad Bird has done great films. He's done The Incredibles and Iron Giant and other things that I can't think about. But,
I'm sure they're great, though.
Yeah. The first two acts of this are wonderful. They're Brad Bird and such. But...
Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the third act is just something you've seen in another film before.
Right. It just feels familiar, which is weird for this movie because it's so original. Yeah. Another thing I loved. Very original. So when you saw something familiar, as you said, it was just like,
Another negative thing is Hugh Laurie. Now, not Hugh Laurie himself, just the way they wrote his character.
I was gonna say, here come the spears.
Yeah, no. I love Hugh Laurie. House is one of my favorite TV shows. I'm binge watching it on Netflix right now. His character, he's technically an antagonist to the protagonist, but at the same time, his character doesn't feel like a villain. Like I don't want him to lose. I don't hate him that much.
Yeah.
Like he tries to save the world. He does a thing. I won't spoil that. But it doesn't work. So he's like, all right,
have it your way.
yeah, I guess you guys don't want to be saved then. I'm like, I get it. I mean, he's just hurt. He says a great thing in the film. It's one of my favorite lines. Is I'm paraphrasing. You don't want to save your world because it would require you to do something today. You'd rather just put it off till tomorrow.
Something around that line.
Yeah, and I thought it was great because that convicted me. It's just like, sure, it's kind of preachy, but I've seen a lot of Christian films, and they are a lot more preachy than this.
We joked that it could have been called Procrastination Land, because it's like, that essentially is just saying, oh yeah, the world is in a really bad place, and the one girl even said in her classroom scene, you know, she's
How
like,
can we fix it?
what can we do to fix it? And that essentially is... And you talked to me earlier about
that just hit me. Wow, that was the theme stated moment. Is like, how can we fix our world today? Because so much of us like, we'll start that tomorrow.
Or just our generation sometimes. It's just very like doom and gloom, and we can tell you what's wrong with everything, but we never tell you or do anything necessary to fix it. And that's what I think is a good theme to talk about. Negatives that I had was, you know, just a small thing was that every now and then they brought up global warming, and just, I think the moment that I had to say, oh, is this going to be a global warming thing?
Tomorrowland, directed by Brad Bird, produced by Al Gore. No!
Shoot it!
All right, final rating before the camera battery dies. We'll go again.
You go first.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a B. I really liked it. It wasn't that preachy. It didn't annoy me that much. And I went in with low expectations and loved it. Basically, if you're going to see this, don't expect Pirates of the Caribbean, but no, it's better than Haunted Mansion.
It's a very good middle. In fact, it's actually better than middle. It's more in the good. It's more towards Pirates than it is towards Haunted Mansion. I'd give it a B minus because he gave it a B and I want to be different. So there you go. Thanks guys, and you got a channel that you're going to be starting soon.
Soon. Not yet, but soon. It will be called Studio